Hello there and welcome to the DBP Pest Control channel. Well, this is the day where we try and start the old girl. I have admittedly just spent a few minutes, half an hour, tinkering with the points, making sure we had a spark, because initially we didn't. I've had young George from the farm here helping me out. ignition on, ignition off and all that palaver. So we'll see if the old girl will fire up. Ignition on. First time in 7 years, ladies and gents. I'm happy with that. It's a bit rough on the idle, but not too bad. There's a little bit of a hole in the exhaust underneath, I noticed. So there you go. 6-cylinder, 4¼ litre Rolls Royce. After 7 years standing idle, turning over like a good one-ish. Bit of fine tuning, that'll be like a clock, or running like a watch, as they say. Well, friends, following what must have been a 50-point, exhausting by the way, non-power assisted steering turn, I managed to get the pig out of the shed, and I have to say it looks absolutely superb in the sun. We'll just take a little walk round it. Just look at that. Fabulous. I did, in the process of getting it out, I did find out that the brakes don't work, but that's another story, something else I need to work on. This is the good. The roof's done, obviously. Got to put the support frame for the roof canvas back on. They had a spoof canvas fitted to make it look like a soft skin vehicle, less prone to air attack and one thing and another. Also aided cooling. This is the side I've got to work on. The rear wings I did some years ago, so they're okay. That's just a paint job more or less up to this point. You may remember me mentioning that the welds have all let go on this splinter frame here, this anti-splinter frame, so I've tacked them back on for the time being, so they've all got to be dressed back and re-welded. The front wing, as you can see the state of it, that was more or less the state of the other one before I replaced it. So this is my next job. You can see here that the stowage bin is all rusted out at the bottom, so that's all got to be replaced. Nothing in there. Luckily I got enough off the old one to make some patterns up, so I'm going to start work on that side now. I've just got to figure out how to get it into the shed in such a way with the 101 that I can swap them around to work on this. But there you are, it's all coming together, all coming together. Few short weeks of hard work, but that's the result right there. So I reckon another month we'll probably see the other side finished. Got to swap the wheels over. And again, you may have seen in my previous post, I had to cut off some of the wheel nuts there because the studs were spinning. So it's this one here and this one here. I've got to dismantle the hub and replace the studs, which is a bit of a chore, but needs to be done. So there you are. Have a lovely day. Alright folks, today's very quick update. Managed to get all the welds around the splinter frame done there. Any 5-year-old would be dead proud of those welds, I tell you. Isn't that right, George?
Yep.
How old are you?
8.
8, right. George is 8. What do you think of those welds, George?
I think they're actually pretty good. It's
there you go.
How you managed to get the pieces
there you go. You had it from the horse's mouth there. So that managed to replace this bottom bar. They were oddly missing on both sides. Of course we've now just got the front wing off, and you can see the state of it. There's not much worth salvaging on there apart from the light guard on the front there, possibly the hasp, the bridge plate, lights. Well, the lights maybe. I have got some new ones, but all this needs some TLC, pretty much like the other side to be fair, but you can see how it's all rotted out. Audible. But now that's off, that won't take long, will it, George?
No.
Oh, and the wiring is in a lovely state, so we're going to replace that as well. So there you are, update for today. Bye bye. Well, today we're going to start filling that gap there. I've got to make the new wing. If I can just talk you through that process a little bit. I've laid out the old one here so you can see the extent of the rot and basically what we've got to achieve. So I say I. So you can see that the condition of this is well beyond repair. It's very thin, bits missing out of it. The cross bracing is all rotted through, so I'm going to have to make a complete new one. Some of the features of the original design, this was made in 1mm thick steel or thereabouts. All the edges are turned to give stiffness and strength, with a 1-inch or thereabouts turn back on all edges. This here constitutes the stowage bin, or one of the faces of the stowage bin. There is another part that sits in here which is completely rotted out, so that will also have to be fabricated. And what we'll be using to do that, I've got a piece of steel here laid out already. This is, I decided to use something a little thicker than the original. This is 2mm thick, which means that the radius is, say here for example, they won't be quite as sharp as this due to the thickness of the material and the method of bending that I'm using. But when you view it in respect of the other wing, it'll look fine. So there we are. So there's my template that I made whilst doing the near side wing. and I'm going to lay that on top of this sheet of steel just now, check the dimensions, and then simply draw around it and cut it out. The bending process uses this brilliant machine, which is it's an endless magnetic bending table, so it has no ends, if you like, so you can slide your material or your workpiece along accordingly, which is something you can't do on a lot of the other hinged types of this nature. So essentially I'll put a piece of steel in there so you see how it works. There's various bending bars here with notches cut in them. You can make box sections and so forth. So essentially you turn it on. Let's do that. Energize the clamp there. That's just the working clamp, and then when you start to raise the bending bar, you hear the main magnet cut in, and you just bend it to your required angle. Turn it off, remove the bending bar, and there you are. That's the principle behind it. And you can see it's a pretty good angle. It's not too radiused, and as I say, once you see both wings together, you'll never know the difference compared to the original. So yeah, that's what we need to do, that's how we need to do it, and I'll bring you up to speed at various other points in the process. Okay, bye bye. Hey folks, a bit of an update. I've completed marking out and cutting of the wing from my template, deburred all the edges and taken all the sharp corners off, marked out, ready for bending. This line here represents the stiffening fold that will go round on itself, and this here is will form the side of the wing, as per the original over here, and there's a little bit of welding involved on the corners later on. So that's all ready. The cutouts are there, ready to form the correct angles when it's bent. I will not be cutting out the stowage bin access hole here because it makes it too flimsy. That gets done once it's mounted on the vehicle. Again here, this is a stiffening bead that will get folded back on itself. So yeah, we're ready for a bit of bending. Oh, incidentally, I don't know if you ever do any metal work yourselves, but this is a fabulous piece of kit. I bought several of these. I bought them for stripping paint and one thing and another, but they actually are brilliant for soft grinding metal. I did all this deburring and the soft corners here with one of these. They're absolutely brilliant. So if you've got any heavy duty wire brushing, I guess is what you normally do it with, save yourself the aggro and get some of these. They're brilliant. Okay, right, I'll come back to you when I've done a bit of bending. Bye bye. Hey guys, back again. Well, using the age-old principle that your dad taught you, measure twice, cut once, and additionally in my case, measure twice, bend once. We've gone from the bench to here, and I've literally just offered that up, and it looks pretty good. Every bit as good as the other side. Having now determined that it fits, I'm going to straighten it a little bit, grind some rough edges off and weld these seams up. There's 3 to do. 1, 2, 3, and then I can set about drilling the mounting holes to match up with the ones on the rail here mounted on the vehicle, and then we can start with setting the lights in and all that good stuff. So there you are, good morning's work there. Just a quick update. We do the tour in the same direction as the one about 3 weeks ago. You can see that side's all done. The back all finished. This side that previously was to be done is now complete with front wing. The only thing I've got to do with these, or this particular wing, well both in fact, is to renovate the covers that go on here, hinged covers, and this side I've got to just make the closure plate that goes on under the electrics here. But everything works, everything's back on. Lights work, which surprised the hell out of me. But there you are. Next I'm going to have to look at the brakes, because at the moment they're still not working, but there's a quick glimpse inside. Canvas covered bench seats either side, 2 hatches in the roof there. I haven't put the windscreens back in, I've just painted those. The inside's not too bad, but it could do with a bit of a touch up. It's typically silver, which is the chosen colour for armoured vehicles of the British Army. So there you go. If I can be bothered to work through the heat, I'm going to start one of the wheel. In fact, this one here probably. I've got to look at that hub, if you remember, because of the wheel nuts that I cut off. I've got to replace those studs, so I might well start on that. Okay. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Oh, good afternoon all. Nice sunny day here on the farm for a change. It occurred to me last night that we hadn't done an update for a few days, and I have moved on a little bit with the pig. It's pretty much outwardly finished now. As you can see, I've painted up and fitted the spare set of wheels that I had in storage for some years, and they all look rather lovely. There. I've put the call sign on the door now, each side. This denotes a B squadron vehicle, and this is the 1 Alpha call sign that was attributed to this particular vehicle in service. You can see the difference in tyre tread there. That's so much better, which is the reason I bought these tyres in the first place. The originals are almost bald by comparison. It is a bit grubby because we had to take it out of the shed in the rain yesterday to make way for a repair on another vehicle, hence it's a little bit rain spotted and dusty. We managed to get down to Wales about 6 weeks ago and picked up these new old stock bin lids, which are like rocking horse poo, and I also bought at the same time a pair of rear bin lids, although these are the ones I made up some years ago, and they're actually okay, they do the job, but I will fit the new old stock ones at some point just to make it authentic. Oh, and the other thing I did, I fitted a new old stock carburettor that I bought years ago at a show, and I'll just run it up for you so you can hear the smooth running. There you are. Runs much smoother, less rich. I guess the old carburettor was probably quite worn, but that runs like a watch once again. There is a little bit of a hole in the exhaust, which you can probably hear blowing, but that's not a major issue. I do actually have a replacement silencer for that, which I shall put on when it gets really unbearable. The inside, although it needs redoing paint wise, it's actually quite tidy. But I have just opened this other one up. I have taken the opportunity and refurbished these periscopes, which fit up here when you've got the bulletproof windscreens out and you want to close those hatches. The periscopes fit up in those stirrups there, so you can actually drive with the hatches closed. And of course I made up a set of military number plates for the shows. 21BK40 was its original military registration. So there you are, quick update. Oh, nearly forgot. The other thing I was able to get from Clive was a set of seat back and seat base for the passenger seat. Again, new old stock, dated about 1956. Never sat on. So yes, I've done quite well out of Clive, bless him. But there you are, quick update.